Okay, it is now 12:21. As you can see it there on the phone, as I try to put it up there in the camera so you can see it, it's pretty bright. It's 12:21 p.m. Sunday, July 27th. I just want to point that out. That will come in handy later for this episode. You are right now in the future of this podcast. The past of this podcast, right, has already been filmed. That you're going to see that later on. I wanted to jumble things up as a demonstration here. Because we're going to be talking about something here called block universe theory. And what is block universe theory? Block universe theory proposes that all of time, past, present, and future, exists simultaneously as a single four-dimensional block of space-time. This means that what we perceive as the flow of time is actually just our individual perspective moving through this fixed block. It's a concept rooted in Einstein's theory of relativity, which suggests that time is relative and interwoven into space. And space-time, what is that? The theory combines space and time into a single four-dimensional entity called space-time. Simultaneity, in the block universe, all moments in time are equally real and coexistent, unlike the idea of a constantly changing present. Perspective, our experience of time as a linear progression, is just our limited perspective as observers move through this space-time block. No flow. There is no objective flow of time in the block universe and no privileged present moment. Eternalism. The block universe theory aligns with the philosophical view of eternalism, which posits that all times, past, present, and future, are equally real and coexistent. And then there's some implications here and controversies related to this theory. Free will. The block universe model raises questions about free will, as it suggests that our choices are already determined within the space-time block. Yes, they are. In this scenario, everything that's going to happen is going to happen no matter what. There's nothing that we can do to stop it. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The past is set. Just like as the past is set, the future's already set. Everything is all at once, all the time. That's what's going on here in this theory. I'm not saying it's real or this is what the reality of our existence is, but it might be. It might be. I mean, really, and I'm going to talk about this again. Well, I actually did already talk about it, but you didn't hear it yet because I have that in the past. I did that in the past. But basically, well, we're right now, everything that you've done in your life, it's all happening all at once. You know, you're dead right now. You're being born right now. You're attending your first school dance right now. All of these things, it's all happening all at once, all the time. It's all there. It's like a picture. It's like we're on a DVD, a Blu-ray disc. That's what it's like with everything, and it's just there. All of it exists all at once. Right now, what I'm doing, right? This existed. This was going to happen, right? I'm going to say something in a minute here. What am I going to think? I'll think of a word. Book. I just thought of it because I looked over and the first thing I saw was a book on my desk. It's really crazy and mind-bending, but that's what this is. Block universe theory. Anyway, entropy. This is another implication and controversy. The apparent direction of time, increasing entropy, can be explained as a consequence of the universe's initial state and the laws of physics, not as an inherent property of time itself. And determinism. Some interpretations of the block universe suggest a deterministic universe where everything is predetermined, while others allow for a degree of openness and change within the block. Now, in this block universe, for one thing, changing anything in the past is that you couldn't do. Like you couldn't consciously. Right, if you study this theory, right, you couldn't consciously, like, say you invented a time machine and you traveled back to 1955, like Marty McFly, right? Whatever you did, it's already happened. If I'm gonna create a time machine at some point in the future and travel back to the year 1955 at some point in the future, that means in 1955, and that I'm really gonna do that. That's really gonna happen. That means whatever I did in 1955, it's already set in stone. That's already happened. You can't change anything because it's almost like it's not like Back to the Future where you change things and it creates alternate universes. No, it's more like the movie 12 Monkeys, right? Where everything's set in stone. You can't. If something happened in the past, that happened in the past. If somebody from the future visited the past, that means that point in the past that's going to happen for sure, and it's already done with. So nothing could be changed. You can't change history as it is. It's all set in stone. All of this stuff, right? What I'm saying right now, it was predetermined. There's no question I was going to do this, as far as the universe is concerned, because it's already on the tablet. It's already written in stone. It's really mind-bending when you really think about it. But anyway, I talked to AI about time travel in a block universe, and here's what it says. It says, in the block universe theory, time travel into the past is theoretically possible, but with the crucial caveat that any actions taken in the past would be predetermined and unchangeable. The block universe model views the past, present, and future as equally real and existing simultaneously, like a four-dimensional block of space-time. Therefore, even if one were to travel to the past, they would be a part of that past, and their actions would have always been part of the established timeline. Here's a more detailed explanation. It says, block universe theory. This theory posits that all moments in time, past, present, and future, are equally real and exist as a static four-dimensional block of space-time. Time dilation and wormholes. While the block universe doesn't inherently allow for time travel, it doesn't rule it out either. Theories like general relativity suggest that time dilation, which is the slowing down of time due to high speed travel, and wormholes, shortcuts through space-time, could potentially allow for travel to the past or future. No change to the past. A key implication of the block universe is that if time travel to the past is possible, it wouldn't allow for changing the past. Any actions taken in the past would be part of the established timeline and therefore preordained. Predestination. This leads to the concept of predestination or determinism, where our actions in the past, present, and future are all part of a predetermined course of events. Well, okay, let me just say this. I mean, yeah, everything's predetermined. Like, the universe already knows what I'm gonna do, what you're gonna do, what everyone's gonna do, what everything is gonna, what everyone's gonna do, what everything is gonna do. It already has this. It already knows because it's already set in stone as far as the universe is concerned, in block universe theory, right? But you think you're making decisions. Like, I'm making a decision right now to pick up this notebook. I just made a decision to pick up this notebook. That was going to happen. It was predetermined. Even though I feel like I'm making that decision, right? Really, I think I just made that decision, but the universe already knew it under block universe theory. It already knew it. Let's see what else it says here. It says, observing versus changing. A time traveler might be able to observe the past but not alter it, as their very presence in the past would be part of the already existing reality. Exactly. And it's not universally accepted, however. It says, while the block universe model is consistent with some interpretations of relativity, it's not a universally accepted view in the physics community, according to a physics forum. Yeah, it's all really strange, this whole entire life, though. But when you really think about it, and I do talk about this in the past, which you'll see in the future. But I do talk about, you'll see a little bit, I touch on this stuff about how there really is no past, present, or future. They're just not. When you really think about it, it's constantly, the future's like all here. I mean, what is the past? The future and present are constantly like devouring each other, and here we are. And I guess that's the present. But really, there is no present. You can't put a pin in the present, right? I mean, we live on this linear timeline in our minds, right? And okay, what constitutes the present? Well, I get into all that in the past. You'll see. Anyway, here was a little article I wanted to share as well. And this was from selfawarepatterns.com. It says, the block universe is interesting, but not comforting. Yes, and I agree with that. This is not a comforting thought, I must say, folks. It's not a comforting thought. It says here, the block universe is the idea that if the universe is fully deterministic, then its entire history from beginning to end exists in an eternal, timeless, static block. We are patterns embedded in the block, and so from our perspective, we exist in a dynamic and changing reality. But from outside, the block is like a movie, DVD, a static object containing a story with the beginning, middle, and end already set. Yes, it is. Like, and everything that we've experienced in our lives, that's just, a tiny fraction, so small, imperceivable actually, of the entire movie here that's on that DVD, on that Blu-ray disc, right? It's only a tiny fraction, but it is there. The past, right now, somewhere in this universe in which we live, if this theory is correct, right? That means right now you're being born. Right now, you're being buried. Right now, you're at your own. There are people at your funeral. Right now, you've been dead for 50 years. Right now, you've been dead for 1,000 years. It's just, that's how it is in this theory. It's very mind-bending, the whole thing. Every significant event that you've ever had in your life is happening all at the same time, all the time, forever. It's all like embedded on this disc, this, figurative disk. Anyway, continuing with the story, it says, often it's described by saying that all of the past events in the universe, including all the people who have ever lived, are still out there right now. In other words, Julius Caesar, the Buddha, Gandhi, and our deceased relatives are still living their lives right now. Likewise, we're often told that our lives are now part of the block and that nothing will ever remove that part of the overall pattern. The overall sense, I think, is meant to be comforting. Albert Einstein is often quoted as supporting this view, but it's worth noting the context of the quote. And here was a quote. This is the comment from Einstein. It says, now he has departed. This is with regard to a death of somebody, of someone, of Michel Besso back in 1955. Now he has departed from this strange world a little ahead of me. That means nothing. People like us who believe in physics know that the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. Yes, according to Einstein, it could be all an illusion. Anyway, continuing with the article, it says, but what exactly do we mean by right now in this context? Certainly not the same now we mean when we talk about our current plane of simultaneity within the block, a notion that general relativity has rendered into something relative to our current frame. So the, quote, right now, end quote, that historical figures and past relatives are still living their lives would have to be a now outside of our normal conception of time. And why exactly should we take comfort that our lives are ostensibly an undeletable part of the block? Who will ever see that part of the pattern, and in what context, being outside of time and space? God? Higher dimensional aliens? I can see a religious person finding comfort in the answer, but the second one doesn't necessarily provide me any comfort. I think the block universe is an interesting metaphysical concept, one that could be true, but I've never seen it in and of itself as a particularly comforting one. But maybe I'm missing something. No, I don't think you are. I think it is discomforting. I think it is something to be uncomfortable about, because it means that the way we perceive this existence is really false. It's just the way we're seeing it. It's not the way it really is. And the way it really is under this theory, it would be all of this is preordained in a way. I mean, it feels like we make decisions, right or wrong decisions, as we move through this, but whatever those decisions are, they're going to happen regardless, and there's nothing we can do to change them, because it's all set in stone already. Everything that's happened in the past, everything that's going to happen in the future, everything that's happening, right? Everything that has ever happened, right? It's all happening all at once. It's just like one big picture. The whole universe, everything within this universe, since the beginning all the way to the end, it's all known by someone somehow, and it's all like a DVD movie. And I guess you're probably wondering, what does this all mean for our non-human intelligent friends? Well, I would say that they're in the same boat as we are. We're all part of the same thing here. So they're probably figuring this. Maybe they already figured it out. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they know that's what it is. And there's nothing they can do about it. Whatever they've done in the past, it's set in stone. Whatever they're going to do in the future, it's set in stone, right? All the abductions and alien encounters and cattle mutilations, that's all happening all at once. Betty and Barney Hill right now are getting abducted. Betty and Barney Hill are about to get abducted. Betty and Barney Hill have already gotten abducted, and it's already over with, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. Betty and Barney Hill are getting married right now. Lonnie Zamora is chasing some guy who's speeding outside near Socorro, New Mexico. He's chasing him right now. And he just saw something that caught his eye, something else, and he's going to investigate. That's the craft, that egg-shaped craft. That's happening right now. And it's happening at all times. Everything. All the time. Everything with these creatures, everything with us, everything with everything. It's going on right now. People are going to the movie theater in 1975 right now, and they're seeing Jaws for the first time in their lives. Jaws is not a hit yet. Jaws is a hit. Jaws is forgotten about 10,000 years from now. People don't think about Star Wars anymore 10,000 years ago. People never heard of Star Wars 100 years ago. This is what we're talking about. Block universe theory. It's very, very mind-bending. And I would have to imagine that everything, not just us, not just every living creature, not just this planet, not every plant, not every sun, everything is included, including the non-human intelligence that's here screwing around with us. It's all here, folks. It's all happening all at once. Everything is always is everything. It's very mind-boggling, and it's something that if you think about it too much, it will keep you up at night. Anyway, here's what I said earlier. Welcome to Extraterrestrial Reality. This is the past. You're not seeing this part of the podcast, even though it's the beginning part that I filmed. I started filming at this spot right here. You're not seeing it. You're not listening to it until you heard the end part, the last segment. And I'm just doing this as a demonstration of what I'm trying to talk about here, about the fact that there is no past, present, or future. There just is everything all at once, all the time, forever. That's what it is. It's just one big block. Everything that's happened before, everything that's going to happen in the future, everything that's going on right now, all of this stuff, right? It's all set in stone already, right? Everything is always, and always is everything. So that's where we are right now. So I know I probably, leading up to this section, right, I'm sure that what I'm going to talk about in the future, I'm going to explain this a little bit more. So you probably understand this a lot more right now than probably even I do at this moment in time. It's really all kind of weird and stuff, but really right now, at this moment in time, actually there is no moment in time. At every moment, at all moments, right? Right now, I'm in kindergarten, getting my kindergarten picture. I just graduated from high school in 1986, right? I'm not even born, right? I'm dead. I'm long dead. I'm in the ground right now, long buried. All of this stuff is all happening all at once, for all of us. I mean, let's think about it, okay? Like, for one thing, I don't think there is a present. I mean, really, when you really, really think about this, right? There is no true present. Right, and really, the past and the future is constantly, combining each other. Right, it's the past is devouring the future is devouring the past. But there's no place where you could, put a pin on it and say, okay, this is the present. Really, it's not. I mean, basically, in our heads, right, what the present is, right, is a section of time that's, maybe we'll say, in everybody's head, it's probably different. In my mind, it's like from yesterday till tomorrow, right? That's the present that we're living in right now. But really, it's the past and the future. There is no present. There never it really is. So when you start looking at things that way, right, then it starts boggling your mind, and you try to forget about it. Then you don't want to think about it because it's just too much. It's much too much, much too much. But I like thinking about these kinds of things sometimes. Because it could be the case. It's just that we're seeing all of this from a different perspective. It's very, very odd. Very, very strange. Anyway, being that this is the last half of the show, even though I just started it, and in usual shows, right, I talk about the Spotify polls every few episodes. I talk about the Spotify polls, and usually I include them at the end. But now, because I'm filming this, I with the intention of slapping this ending slapping this beginning on to the end and putting the ending on to the beginning, right? Because I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this part now, and then we'll take it from there. Anyway, let's get caught up here on our Spotify polls. Okay, we'll start with. I guess we'll start. I did these ones already, but we'll see where they are now. We'll start with translucent NHI photographed in Bolivia. History Channel deceives world with bogus Vegas alien report. I asked this question: did the proof is out there deliberately mislead the public about the Vegas alien incident, or is it a case of lazy reporting? We're up to 27 votes right now so far, with 19 days left. 2 people, or 7.4%, say they're just stupid. 8 people, or 29.6%, says lazy reporting, while the majority, 17 people, or 63%, say they purposely misled. Yeah, I go with the majority on here. Like I stated in that episode, there's no question in my mind that they deliberately misled the public on this. Deliberately. All right. Let's go on here. Okay, for the episode Blob-like Beings Try to Abduct 2 Swedes, E.T. commandeers car, terrifies driver and passenger, I asked this question: are the beings that don't fit the mold of the commonly reported E.T.s working with the commonly reported E.T.s? 26 votes so far with 22 days left. Let's see what the results are. Oh, wow, this one's a tie. 13 people, or 50%, say no, while 13 people, or 50%, say yes. So, are the beings that don't fit the mold of the commonly reported ETs working with the... If I had to answer this question, if I was forced to provide an answer to this question, I am going to say yes. I think they're all working together in some form or other. I mean, I don't think that there are creatures showing up here unannounced to the creatures that are already here. I think they're already signaling in advance, hey, we're coming to visit Earth, and is that okay? That's what I think is probably going on. I think they all, no, I'm not saying it's going to be just like that, but I mean, you know what I'm saying. I think they all know. They're all in on it. Whether they have the same agenda or not, that's another question. But I think they all are working together, at least with regard to visitation on this world. Okay, for the episode, Area 51 employees dying from exposure to top secret projects / farmer dies after showdown with ET. Now, the farmer we were talking about in that episode was Ignacio de Sousa. He fired a shotgun at a apparent alien creature on a farm field, and then he was shot back. The creature shot back at him, some sort of a light beam, and it injured his near his shoulder area on his trunk. And I asked this question. I said, did Ignacio de Sousa already have leukemia when he was injured by the beam fired at him by the alien, or did the beam cause the disease? There's only 16 votes on this one with 23 days left. 6 people, or 37.5%, say he already had it, while the majority, 10 or 62.5%, say the ET gave him leukemia. Actually, I'm going to go with the majority on this. One because... yeah, I think it just seems, we'll never know, right? We're never going to know for sure. I mean, there's always a chance that he already had it, right? But I'm going to say that the creature gave whatever was in that beam, whatever that power was. I think that gave him leukemia. I think that was one of the results. He tried to shoot at one of them. Well, they got the payback. They made sure that this guy's not going to hurt anybody else, hurt another alien. So they killed him. That's what it seems like. Could be wrong, though. Could be wrong. You might have already had it, but I'm just going to go with the majority in this one. Okay, and then the most recent episode, will White House disclose UFO ET reality to distract from Epstein? Also, Compton alien update. I asked this question. Will Trump attempt to disclose the truth about the decades-old government UFO cover-up to distract from the Epstein files controversy? Okay, 31 votes so far. 5 people, or 16.1%, say yes, while 26 people, or 83.9%, say no. I say no too. I don't think that he's going to do it. I think that there's other power that we don't see here that has control of this. I don't think he has complete control over. I don't think presidents have complete control over it, and I don't think that the military-industrial complex is, willing and able to allow President Trump to tell the truth about UFOs as a distraction to this controversy that's ongoing. So I don't think that's going to happen. But then again, like I said during that episode, would it surprise me? No, nothing would surprise me at this point. Absolutely nothing. Anyway, I just want to say thank you all for joining me. Until next time, and just before I leave, I just want to point out that I'm going to end this segment at 12:19. Let's see here, so you can see it. 12:19. You see that on my phone? 12:19, Sunday, July 27th.